So are we supposed to start the podcast?
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to Asshole Island. Patriots, gaytriots, and theytriots.
Caw-caw! Caw-caw!
It does-
Caw-caw! I'm doing one more caw because Trump's America. We need all the caws we can get.
Triple your cacaw.
Triple your caw because we're in triple the dog shit.
There's no question about it. And I just want our listeners to know it doesn't matter who's in charge of this country. We still are citizens of Asshole Island.
That's
and
right.
we will not relent and we will rebel. And we are not going to pre-surrender to this bullshit.
No, we're not. Absolutely
Pumps,
not.
what have you had it with?
Okay, what I've had it with is the person that I have become because of my French Bulldog. I have become everything I hate in people on the internet, in real time. Yesterday, I went to the paint store, talking to my neighbor because he's my builder. He has Frenchies. We're talking about our Frenchies. I start telling him about the trials and tribulations of my dog that attacks other dogs, that attacks my oldest child, all these things. The guy at the register says to me, "Oh, you have a French Bulldog? Yeah, I've heard a lot of bad things about them." And instead of just being like, who the fuck cares? This guy's just trying to get your paint. I have to go into a long diatribe about the attributes of my dog. When I start telling him that I'm an empty nester with the first puppy after my kids leave, that is when I realized you're a yak mouth. You're talking to somebody about something they don't care about. All he wants to do is to check you off the list and get you out of his face. And so all of a sudden, like the self-awareness slapped me in the face. And I was just like, you know what? You don't care. I'm going to go stand over here and wait for the paint. I mean, I was just hanging my head in shame that I had become a yak mouth defending a French Bulldog to somebody that I don't even fucking know or care about and I will never see again. What the fuck is wrong with me?
I just want to know, in this journey of self-discovery and introspection that you found yourself in at the paint store, did it ever occur to you, I owe somebody an apology?
No, because I've apologized 50 times and said, oh my God, I can't believe now I get it. No. Do you want another one? Because I'll give you one.
Yeah. I want it in the permanent record.
Okay.
Okay.
In the permanent record, all the shit I gave you about Tubby and all your over-the-top mothering about Tubby, I was 100% wrong. I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. I didn't have a frame of reference for the kind of love that you can have for one of these dogs and that this dog can turn you into a nut.
Right.
Just a fucking nut.
Yeah.
And at the same time that you want to just scream because this little French Bulldog acts like such a shit. And then he gives me a little face and I just melt away.
Yeah.
So I am sorry.
Thank you. I forgive you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I forgive you. It's Trump's America. I'm going to be more forgiving.
That's right. We got to forgive the people that we care about more.
Let me tell you, our grievances today are rather adjacent. Let
Really?
me tell you what I've had it with.
Okay.
I've had it with people who you go over to their house and they're like, oh, we don't let our dogs on the sofa.
Okay.
And I just want to be like, then you know what? I'm leaving.
You don't let your dog on the sofa. I don't want to be your friend.
I don't want to sit on this sofa. I don't want to sit around you. Why on earth? And they're all so braggadocious about it. Oh, we don't let our dogs on the furniture. And I'm like, number one, why'd you get a dog? And number two, why are you bragging about being such a bad pet owner? There's this elitist, like, I'm a better person than you
Yes.
because, oh, we don't let our dog on the sofa or we don't let our dog sleep with us. I'm like, I don't sit around and say, oh, I let my dog on the sofa.
Right.
I let my dog sleep with me. I don't feel the need to say that because I know I'm in the right.
Right. When you're right, you don't have to explain it all the time.
These people and this constant bragging about how they have these boundaries with their pet. And I'm like, number one, I think you're just revealing that you're a bad person. And I just think the next time I'm at somebody's house and they start this nonsense, I'm going to say, well, if your dog can't sit on the sofa, I'm going to sit on the floor.
I wonder what they would say. Here's when somebody says that, like, oh, I don't let my dog on the sofa, or I don't let my dog sleep with me.
I don't let my dog eat people food. Just quit bragging. Shut the fuck up.
I think it's a flex. I think they think they're flexing. Like, my dog's better behaved than your dog. That's what I kind of get.
Yeah.
I just want to get to the point where I can say my dog doesn't attack other dogs. That's my goal. I can't even fathom the sleeping and the couch.
The problem with you and your dog, Oliver Glizzard is the dog's name, whom I call Glizzy. The problem with you and Glizzy is he needs a pack leader. And you see what happens when you bring him to the office to visit me. He immediately obeys commands. He looks up at me adoringly. And dogs
adore you.
Thrive in this. You need to be it's not that the dog is bad. It's your leadership in the relationship with your dog is bad. And you need to get on YouTube and watch how to be a pack leader with my dog videos. I think
that's not a bad idea.
That's the way that it's in their DNA. And you're just like, there's no boundaries with him. And, when your oldest son started, like, I believe your daughter told me he was double birding him saying, fuck you, you little spoiled dog. And the dog reacts. I'm team dog at that point. Because if somebody was doing that to me, I'd want to growl and bark at them too. And so I think what we're lacking here is dog leadership.
You got to get on the dog
And you need
leadership.
to learn to be a pack leader. And to all of the people listening that don't let their dogs on the sofa and are so sanctimonious because my dog doesn't sleep in bed with me and my dog only eats dog food, give your dog away. Go find your dog a good home. You're a bad pet owner. I'm tired of the bragging about like that you have this boundary with a creature that lives on average 10 years. That's all they've got. You're not going to let them sit on the sofa because you think you're such a badass boundary boss bitch.
You boundary boss bitch. Let your fucking dog on the couch.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. All right. Welcome to I've Had It. I'm Jennifer.
I'm Angie.
She is, you are the biggest egomaniac in podcasting.
You love that so much.
I was great. Kylie, what's going on the internet?
I've got a couple reviews for you guys.
Okay.
Do you want to start with the 1-star or the 5-star?
The one.
One.
Okay, 1-star titled Chronic Complaining. And they write, I get not liking the current political situation, but incessantly complaining about it helps no one. There's not a single show in which these women offer the audience any type of solution to their complaints about the current environment. Like you will probably catch cancer from their negativity.
Here's what I have to say to this 1-star reviewer is you're spot on. We are a problem recognition podcast. That's what we traffic in. We traffic in identifying problems and grievances. As to the solutions, we're way over our skis on that. We would never be so arrogant and pretend to have so much hubris that we could solve said problems. We like to just revel in the grievance of the problems.
Yeah, but I will say, I do think we've had a couple of really good ideas on the problem solving. The TSA people, that if you're not ready.
Social referees.
Social referee, you have to go to the back of the line.
Yep.
Uber rating.
Yep.
People at restaurant, like the patrons.
Don't vote for Trump. That was a great idea.
And we pushed that. We tried.
That was a really good idea.
That was a really good idea.
That was probably the best idea we've had since we started this podcast. Do not vote for Trump. Do not be a MAGA moron. But apparently
nobody listens to us.
Nobody listens to us.
Right.
All they hear is problem.
All they hear is problems.
But we do like to traffic in problems.
The name of the show is I've Had It.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point, the whole premise is complaining.
It's not, we'll show you how to fix it.
No.
So to that reviewer, the name of the podcast is not, we'll fix it for you.
We'll fix it.
Solutions are us.
That's what we need to change the name to and really push our social referees.
Okay, what the 5-star?
Okay, 5 stars titled, I Would Save Blessica. This is from Norway, and they write, every week when I tune into the podcast, I think of that long ago fateful time in U.S. history when baby Jessica fell down the well. Pumps is so much older than Blessica that she will remember that circumnavigated tragedy. If today our amazing Blessica were to suffer the same fate I would also demand that unnecessary community resources be used to save her. Thank you both from a Gatriot in Florida.
When did I fall? Down the well. What are they talking about?
Isn't that an old movie, Baby Jessica, that fell down the well?
Yeah, remember the girl that fell down the well? It was in Texas.
Yes.
The little baby. Yes. It took me a minute.
It took me a minute. Yeah, because
I knew before you guys.
that's incredible.
That was before you were even probably alive.
Listen, thank you, Norway. And I do believe that when you look up the happiest countries in the world, Norway's like top 5.
Yeah, for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
They have lots of freedoms. They're hot. You know,
Trump's not their president.
number one, first and foremost, Mike Johnson doesn't run around.
They're not religious whack jobs.
Right. They're normal.
Yeah.
They're just kind of a live and let liver.
Okay. I have some news stories that I would like to share with you and our audience.
Okay.
And I'm going to read to you this first story. And I feel like they possibly got the nationality of this woman wrong
Okay.
because I think that it could have possibly been you.
Oh, okay.
All right. The headline is French woman scammed out of $850,000 after believing she was dating Brad Pitt. The fraudster, posing as the Hollywood star, built an online relationship with Anne using AI-generated images and emotional manipulation, claiming to need funds for cancer treatment after his accounts were frozen by ex-wife Angelina Jolie. The scammer convinced her to send nearly 830,000 euros and grew suspicious after seeing Brad Pitt with his real girlfriend, leading her to report the incident to the authorities.
Okay, here's the deal.
Weren't you recently in France?
I was recently in France, and I will be the first to tell you, I fall for most scams, pretty much most scams. But when I read that story, I thought, why would she think Brad Pitt needed $800,000? And then that makes more sense that Angelina froze his assets, blah, 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 blah. But I go back to, if you haven't seen him in person, like as crazy as I am about falling for scams, I hate to say it, but I just don't think I would send somebody $850,000 that I'd never met in person. Moreover, that I think is Brad Pitt.
Let me ask you this. When's the last time you were on that prison website dating matchup thing?
It's been over a year.
Okay. Let me ask you one more question, and I'm sure people are going to get mad at me for needling you on this, but I cannot help myself.
Okay.
When you had that affair with that married man, here's the timeline that I remember, is a friend of yours noticed on his Facebook page, he's at like a football game doing like the hook 'em horn thing, or maybe the hook and horn down. I can't remember. And on his left ring finger, there's a wedding band.
Right.
And so then you confront this man that you had been dating for several months. And he tells you that he wore the wedding band for the feelings of his coworkers so that they wouldn't, he didn't tell them about the divorce. He's been divorced for 10 years, but he continued to wear the wedding band.
Right.
So the coworkers didn't get upset about his divorce. And I know that then you called me and you said, oh, it all makes perfect sense now.
Yeah, until I said it out loud.
He wears the ring because he hadn't told his coworkers, and so he's really still divorced, blah, blah, blah. And I go, Angie, if it walks like a duck,
Yeah.
talks like a duck. Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah.
Originally, you kind of bought that.
Yeah, because when you don't say it out loud, sometimes when you're just in your head and you're like, oh, okay, da, 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 and then you say it out loud, you're like, that fucking's crazy.
Right.
So, but I really don't think I would send $850,000 to a person that I'd never seen in person.
So let's do your punch list. You're
Okay.
never going to date an inmate.
Right. Never going to date an inmate.
And you would not fall for a scam of someone impersonating a celebrity.
Brad Pitt. Oh, any celebrity?
Any celebrity.
Yeah, I don't think I would.
I think you could fall prey.
Well, how would I even
You
think that I met a
believe that
celebrity?
that man wore that wedding ring for the
5 minutes.
feelings, for the feelings of the coworkers.
$850,000 worth.
I know. Okay, another news story is evangelical pastor says Jesus hasn't returned due to the lack of donations.
What?
During a recent 4-day live TV event entitled Victory-thon, right-wing evangelical pastor Jesse Duplantis claimed that people are not being generous enough to churches. Hence, why Jesus has not returned from the dead, he says. I honestly believe this. The reason why Jesus hasn't come is because people are not giving the way God told them to give. When you understand this, you can speed up the time. He continued to suggest that if people called the number at the bottom of the screen, God the Father would say, Jesus, go get them.
Here's the sad thing about that. People called that number and gave money because of that. I mean, that's so fucking crazy. And that is not limited to this generation. I remember, now you're probably too young, but there was a crazy ass minister in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oral Roberts.
And he locked himself in the top floor of a building, like it was a super high building. And he said he would not come down because Jesus would not want him to come down until he had $1 million in donations. And as soon as he got the $1 million in donations, boom. I don't know if it was, if Jesus
I thought he
was
said
gonna
that
come.
God was going to kill him if he didn't get the donations.
Well, I mean, my memory served was he had to get the donations before he could come down.
If your version of it is that, Kylie, Google it, what Oral Roberts was he, what was his thing? Was he going to, if your thing was that he was going to lock himself in the tower
Until he got $1 million.
He was going to die if he didn't get 8 million.
He's going to die.
Oh, he was going to die.
God was going to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did he get the 8 million? Because it seems like he didn't.
He did.
He did. Golly.
So that God, my mother,
right. She was probably more into it than I was.
so into all of this because she's not religious at all. And we had to live in this Bible Belt. And she's like, look at what a scam this guy is. And to me, that's fraudulent. That's just total fraud. It's totally criminal. And the fact that the federal government and the IRS has not rained hellfire on these racket, bullshit indoctrination schools, all these asshole academies, all of these all over the United States that raise these kids to think that if they have sexual thoughts that they're going to hell, and all this Christian nationalism bullshit, all the way to this guy. The fact that that hasn't been handled, and they commit fraud and financially abuse people with impunity.
Yeah, impunity.
In this country. And all of it led to, just like the Stanley Cups, Trumpism. All of it. All of that shit led to Trumpism. I guarantee you the student body at Oral Roberts University is a MAGA pep rally.
I'm sure.
Of just, and the porn and the
gay sex.
It is just off the charts. The fact that they're still operating after somebody committed that kind of scam, and people wonder, I wonder how Trump got elected. I wonder.
There's a straight line.
Fishy.
It's fishy.
Really fishy. Okay. Today we have a guest. Kylie was just telling me that this guest is a gay icon.
Yeah, she is.
Much like Pumps.
Well, I don't know about that.
And her name is Lisa Rinna. And Pumps and I are old enough to remember when she was on the soap opera called Days of Our Lives.
I never missed her. Her name was Billy. I remember that.
I remember Days of Our Lives you could still watch while you were in school because it came on at like 3:30. So you could get home from school at like 3
and still
race in and watch Days.
Yeah.
And God, soap operas were such a part of growing up in the 80s.
Yes. And we all talked about it. Like, it was like, oh my gosh. And like, you'd have to, like, I remember missing class in college when there was something going on Days. Like, I couldn't miss it because there was something going on Days. Like, I should have just skipped to Friday because nothing would have happened. But anyway, yeah, soap operas were huge.
Anyway, she has had a long career, including acting, soap operas, modeling, including a little stint in Playboy magazine.
Yeah, she looks good.
Mom of 2, married to Harry Hamlin for 20 years, and just recently left The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and we're going to get all of the tea. Let's welcome to I've Had It, Lisa Rinna. Listener, this may come as a total shock to you, but Pumps and I have not always been this pulled together and rock solid. In fact, we used to be rather screwed up, wouldn't you say, Pumps?
I would say damn near psychotic.
Totally. And we have written a cell phone expose. One could even say it's a manifesto. And the book title is
Life is a Lazy Susan of Shit Sandwiches.
In all sincerity, we share a lot of our struggles that led us to this grand stage where we can talk about petty grievances. You can click the link below in the show notes to pre-order your copy now.
Addie.
Hey ladies, did you know that one of the most common complaints from women about their sexual health is a frustratingly low libido? Our sex drives can decline, but it's also treatable. Addie or flibanserin is FDA approved and has been clinically proven to increase sexual desire in certain premenopausal women who are bothered by a low libido. So if you feel like you've lost your desire and you want to get it back, stop falling for the snake oils and ask your doctor today about Addie. Go to Addie.com. That's ADDYI.com.
Addie is for premenopausal women with acquired generalized hypoactive sexual desire disorder, HSDD, who have not had problems with low sexual desire in the past, who have low sexual desire no matter the type of sexual activity, the situation, or the sexual partner. The low sexual desire is troubling to them and is not due to a medical or mental health problem, problems in the relationship, or medicine or other drug use. Addie is not for use in men or to enhance sexual performance. Your risk of severe low blood pressure and fainting is increased if you drink 1 to 2 standard alcoholic drinks close in time to your Addie dose. Wait at least 2 hours after drinking before taking Addie at bedtime. Your risk of severe low blood pressure and fainting is also increased if you take certain prescriptions, over-the-counter or herbal medications, or have liver problems. Low blood pressure and fainting can happen when you take Addie even if you don't drink alcohol or take other medicines. Do not take if you are allergic to any of the ingredients in Addie. Allergic reactions may include hives, itching or trouble breathing. Sleepiness, sometimes serious, can occur. Common side effects include dizziness, nausea, tiredness, difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, and dry mouth. See full PI and medication guide, including box warning at addie.com/PI or call 844-PINK-PILL.
Ask your doctor about Addie today. That's ADDYI.com. Okay, let's welcome to I've Had It, Billy from Days of Our Lives, Lisa Rinna. Lisa, Pumps and I are of the generation where Days of Our Lives was our life.
And I loved you on Days of Our Lives. I remember you always going in and causing trouble in that little room by the nurse's station. And I just thought, I fucking love her.
You guys, you know how long ago that was?
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
Guys, that was like 35 years ago.
No, I was all in. I mean, I remember when you were coming on, the first thing that thought in my head was, oh my gosh, Billy's coming on.
I would get off the school bus and race home to turn on Days of Our Lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Insane. I know. I mean, we all grew up watching it. I watched it with my mom. So imagine growing up watching it and then getting a role on the show. It was like I'd won an Oscar. I swear to God.
How old
my
were
mom
you?
was so excited. I was 25.
Oh, I bet that was so exciting because soap operas we have a lot of younger listeners, but back in the day, like soap operas were peak glam. Like the prettiest actors were always on soap operas.
I never thought of it that way, but you're right. I mean, and you're in people's homes every single day. So it's like, well, I think, Housewives kind of became that in a way, but nothing is like that because it's every single day, 5 days a week.
Yes. Yeah.
And so the audience just really feels like they know you. I mean, there's no fan like a soap fan.
Yeah.
No fan like a soap fan.
As you can tell, 35 years later, we're
Team Billy.
We're Team Billy all day
Yay!
long.
Okay. so Lisa, we like to traffic and specialize in petty grievances.
Fabulous.
We like to park our asses in the problem and just let it marinate there for a little bit.
I actually know that you do that.
So to be on brand, what have you had it with?
Oh, well, what comes up for me right away is people telling me to act my age and grow up. Grow up. Watching a dance video of mine where I'm clearly being, ridiculous and stupid. Grow up. Okay, so my question to you is, how old do you have to be in order to be grown up?
I mean, I think that's a great question. Also, you get so many mixed messages from the internet.
Yeah.
You're only as young as you feel. And then when you
Fuck
start
that.
acting young and you're having fun, then it's grow up. And what I think this leads into are all of these keyboard courage warriors that sit
Yeah.
and monitor and patrol and write up on people's comment section. Because I love that your give a fuck meter is broken.
Agree.
I think that is like so liberating as a person to finally let your give a fuck meter go.
Yeah.
And I love that about you.
Thank you. It's true. I mean, that's gone, long gone. I think when I turned 50, the give a fuck meter went out the window, to be honest. Like I just didn't care at all. And I still get myself in, a great amount of trouble, but I still don't care. I really don't. I'm like, what's the worst thing that can happen to me? I mean, that's the way I look at it. It's like, I've already been through so much. Fuck it. I'm just going to have a good time. And if you don't like it, then don't follow me. I mean, I'm not putting a gun to your head to watch my content. That's what makes me laugh. I'm like, okay, so you actually don't follow me, but you're still here watching, telling me to grow up.
Yes, we get that all the time. It's hate watching. They love to hate
It's
watch.
hate. Oh, I've never thought of it like that.
They're
What does
hate
that do?
watchers.
Does that give them a hit of dopamine?
I
Oh,
think so.
100%.
Yeah.
But
And-
they love to hate you, which
Yes.
I started that with the love part. We get trolled all the time online.
Oh, I bet you do.
Uh-huh. But
bet
I
you
just
do.
think like, I'm just so flattered that even if it's hate, that they're taking the time
You
to
know
stop
what?
by and put that energy into that. Because if I don't like
about
something, call me crazy. I don't invest energy into it.
Same. Exactly.
The energy that they put into their hate is something that I find complimentary.
That's really good. I love that. You're absolutely right. And you know what's ironic? I find that, let's say I were to see that person in person and say, hi, they would be like, oh my God, I love you so
Right.
much.
Yes.
Or even if I respond to them and clap back for a second, they love it. They're like, oh my God, you noticed me. They just want attention. God love them, negative or positive, like a toddler.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. So how many seasons were you on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
8.
8. And so the last season, was it your idea to leave or did y'all part ways mutually?
Well, both. It was my idea to leave first, and then they didn't stop me. You know what I mean? Like, no one said, oh, please don't go. So to me, that tells you that it's time to go. Because I said, I'm leaving. That's it. I think they show my email at the end of beginning of one of the new seasons saying, after the reunion, I came home and now I look back on it. I was going to say goodbye on the reunion. I was actually going to announce it on the reunion, and then I chickened out. And so once I got home, I sent the email. So.
Okay. I want to ask you a question about now you're off Real Housewives. You are glad that you're off. And everybody's going to think that I'm the skunk at the garden party for asking this, but I'm going to ask it.
All right.
Do you think that some of these housewife shows that depict women in the most stereotypical, cartoonish ways that our personalities can be, in the overall trajectory of women trying to, advance in workplace, politically, et cetera, is helpful or hurtful? Because I go back and forth.
Well, I think it's both. But I also think that's kind of our issue as women, in general. Like, we don't get 100% positivity. We're always fighting stereotypes.
Yeah.
Right. And that is like typical. And it's hard to do that because, to do a show like that, because you're at the mercy of the edit. Right. People really saw probably 20% of who I am and who all the women are. You don't really see us other than how we are edited, really.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it serves the story. It's much easier to build a character that way, whether you're a good girl, a villain, however they want to do it. Listen, we all have all those sides to us. It would be easy to make me really nice, and it's easy to make me a real bitch, which they've done. They did all of that on the show in 8 years.
Okay, now we're going to play a game, and we have an extended version of it called Had It or Hit It. Oh my God. Welcome to Had It or Hit It. I would hit it.
Had it.
Had it. I hit it every day, sometimes twice a day. Okay, Lisa. Had it or hit it, couples tattoos.
Had it.
Okay, what would you do if Harry Hamlin came home today and he had I Love Lisa tattoo on his bicep?
Oh, it would be kind of cute, actually, if you think about it.
Would you reward him with sex? Would it turn you on?
I don't know if it would turn me on. I think it's cute and sweet. I don't love tattoos. I have no tattoos, and I'm not a big tattoo chick. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna. I mean, maybe I'll give him a blowjob, but I mean, just for the effort, right?
Right. For the pain that he suffered.
I love it. Okay, next up, Had It or Hit It, Hugh Hefner.
Oh.
It's a tough one.
It's hard.
Yeah, because, I have history there. But I'm going to say both. Can I do both?
Yeah, of course.
Both.
So you went to the Playboy Mansion?
Yeah, they had a party at the mansion for me when I did my first Playboy pregnant with Delilah. And I had only just had her 6 weeks earlier. So I was a fucking mess. I was like a mess. So I barely remember it, going to the Playboy Mansion, like totally postpartum. Like, how insane is that?
We talked about this once. We had the girls next door on the podcast. And Hugh Hefner, like if you grew up in our generation, he was, ubiquitous. It was kind of like every male wanted to be him. But he died in the perfect time, like right before the Me Too movement, because that motherfucker would have been KO'd like nobody's business. I mean, he would have never recovered from it. So we asked them that, and then we're asking you that. And it's kind of like our Me Too brain. You kind of think, hit it. And then you start to think about what all women had to go through. And then it's like, oh, wait, had it. So I think that's a very normal reaction to the evolution of how women think about their worth moving forward and the progress we've made in that department, that there was a pause on your part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listener, for those of you that rent, and if you haven't heard of Built, you're about to thank me. Earning points on rent is now a reality when you pay your rent through Built. You don't even have to check with your landlord to start earning points that you can use towards flights, hotel stays, fitness classes, and even your next rent payment. I'm going to have Pumps break it down for you.
Built points can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, even the ones you haven't heard of. There are over 500 airlines and 700,000 hotels and properties around the world you can redeem your Built points toward.
There's no cost to join Built, and as a member, you'll earn valuable points on rent and on your everyday spending. Points can also be redeemed towards a future rent payment and unique experiences that only Built members can access. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, why not? Start earning points on rent you're already paying by going to joinbuilt.com/hadit. That's joinbilt.com/hadit. Make sure to use our URL so they know that we sent you. joinbuilt.com/hadit to start earning points on your rent payments today. Pumps, I feel like 2024 really did a number on my hair and my skin. And that's why this year I'm going to skip the resolutions and go straight to the results because I deserve it. And I really want to share with you and our listener Prose. Prose makes beauty personal with truly custom hair care and skincare formulas that couldn't exist without you.
I started using Prose and I've noticed healthier hair in just 4 weeks. And Prose has 500 5-star product reviews, and a clinical study that proves personalization works better.
Each and every bottle is made to order based on an in-depth consultation that covers everything from your beauty goals to weather and water where you live. From millions of possible formulas, only one is uniquely yours. And Prose only uses naturally powerful and proven effective ingredients, selecting from over 185 clean ingredients to target your specific concerns and goals. Listener, Prose is so confident that you'll love your results this year that they're offering an exclusive trial offer. 50% off your first hair care subscription order at prose.com/hadit. That's prose.com/hadit for your free consultation and 50% off your custom routine. Prose.com/hadit. Okay, next up. Had it or hit it reality TV.
Had it.
Do you watch reality TV?
Not very much anymore. I certainly don't watch any housewife shows. I think once you do it, that's it, honey, you're done. I don't watch any of that, but I do watch a couple reality shows every once in a while. I do.
Yeah. I think that there's, whether it's housewives, what you did, or politics, people become a caricature of who they really are.
That's the truth.
And so there's this caricature, Lisa Rinna. There's a caricature of Barack Obama. There's a caricature of Kamala Harris. And then you have all the people that love that caricature and all the people that hate that caricature. And none of it is really like authentic.
It's not.
Yeah.
I know. And it's frustrating. That's what's really frustrating, I think, because that's what everybody does nowadays. I mean, if you look at your TikTok or your Instagram, like it's an edited version of us. It's not completely authentic.
This is something that we talk about here on the podcast quite a bit. And I want to get your take on it. Had it or hit it, vow renewals.
Nah, hate it. No. Had it. Never.
Okay, we made a list a couple of episodes ago. And the list is the signs that somebody's fucking around and they want everybody to prevent everybody from finding out. The top of the list was vow renewal. You know
And
the marriage is in trouble.
5 years, they're divorced.
I've always said that. I've always said we will never do a vow renewal because if you do, your marriage is over, period.
Exactly. So we had vow renewal and then communicating with each other online.
Right.
It would be like you and Harry, like he posts something, instead of putting a heart, you're like, oh my God, babe, you look so hot. And he's like,
no.
I can't wait to see you later. Have you not seen these couples that full-blown performative in a thread?
No, I have not.
Lisa,
no.
It's really great reading. It's so fucked up. You really want to read it. We'll text you some of these. There's a couple.
Would you please?
That we have on our watch list that we watch that exclusively does this. Mind you, they're sitting on the sofa next to each other, yet they're communicating in an Instagram feed or a Facebook feed so that for an audience. So this is number 2, that your relationship is in major, major precarious position.
Yes, I would have to agree. And if that ever happens, if anyone ever sees Harry and myself do that, please take me out back and shoot me instantly. Like right away.
Yeah. What was our number 3? Tattoos.
Yeah, like couple tattoos.
Yeah. So you're right in line with us that all of these things are performative bullshit.
Performative bullshit. And I literally worked with women for 8 years that literally, no one's together anymore over there. Harry and I are like the last couple standing. So I watched it all play out in 8 years, what you're talking about.
You knew it was going to happen. You saw it coming.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, and
it's
Housewives
not hard.
is like prime for vow renewals.
Yeah.
And so we were on a reality show. And it was,
You were?
Yeah, on Bravo. 2 years, had Evolution Media the whole night. It was called Sweet Home Oklahoma.
No, I didn't
Yes.
know that. So you worked for Alex Baskin too.
Alex
the best.
Baskin. Yeah. And so my husband and I divorced quite some time ago because he's had problems with prescription pill addiction.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We got back together. He's sober now. Everything's great. We got back.
Great.
Yeah, we got back together. We have 2 boys together, but neither of us is like super religious or anything. So we didn't feel the need to like go remarry, but I call him husband. He calls me wife, etc. So when the production team was in Oklahoma, I saw on this board ideas that they had pitched, and one of them said Jennifer and Josh vow renewal. And I just like, I pulled the showrunner over and I was like, that is never going to fucking happen ever. Yeah. I'm not doing it. And if I did it, I wouldn't do it on TV because then it wouldn't be about Josh and me. Like, I'm not fucking doing that. But so we know some of and they were real cool about it. They're like, okay, that's fine. We don't want you to do anything that you would normally do. But yeah. Okay. Had it or hit it, trad wives.
I think it's the dumbest thing ever. And I've had it.
It's so stupid. And I really do think, not to like take it too far, but I do think it sets women back. Sitting around saying, oh, make your husband happy, make him a hot meal. I mean, fuck off.
You know, we need to talk about when people use the word traditional, they're just disguising their prejudices by saying.
That's right. You're right.
It's just they're trying to use a PC word, but whenever I hear a guy say, "Oh, I'm traditional," then we know he's sexist.
And what comes up in my head is Handmaid's Tale.
Yes, which
exactly.
we're rapidly heading back to.
Yes, we are.
Had it or hit it, Elon Musk.
Well, I've had it with that bullshit.
It's bullshit.
Had it. It's all bullshit. You know, it's total bullshit. And what's scary about it, though, is he's probably going to be the first person to be a trillionaire. Think about that.
It's insane.
A trillionaire.
It is insane, Lisa. And so I've had this whole like thought process about all of this. And here's kind of like my evolution on it. I've always been left, voted Democrat because I'm not a fucking crazy person. All right. That's why I've done that. And when Bernie ran against Hillary, I bought into the Democratic establishment, like, no, we got to have Hillary, blah, blah, blah. And I like Hillary. I think she was smart, highly qualified, all of the stuff.
Highly
qualified and sharp as a tack. But as I look back on a lot of the shit that he was saying back then, Bernie, he was right about the oligarchy forming and the consolidation of wealth at the top, and that the wealth disparity is getting, the middle class is shrinking, and that's not going to be sustainable for our country. And they use, religion. We live in Oklahoma. We live in the Bible Belt. We have a total abortion ban here, Lisa. She has a daughter. I have 2 sons. You have 2 daughters. It's just insane. Like when I think about the days of all of us watching Days of Our Lives without smartphones, and, we didn't have to worry about this kind of stuff.
I know.
And now here we are to where, if her daughter, something happens, medical or whatever reason, it's only her daughter's business, she has to travel to another state. And then they're talking about criminalizing that.
They're going to. My guess is there will be a total abortion ban in the next couple months.
Yeah.
I mean, they've said it. So they are going to do everything that they said they would do.
I agree. I think he's going to. And I feel like right now more than ever, it is a very important time for women to not pre-surrender. And if you think about the inauguration, look at who had balls. Michelle Obama said, fuck that. I'm not doing that. And Karen Pence, Mike Pence's wife,
I didn't see that coming.
Mother had more balls than all these men. Nancy Pelosi.
I agree. And why the fuck was Mike Pence there?
He's a pussy.
Are you kidding me?
Because he's a pussy. That's why.
I mean, fucking pussy. I am sorry. But that really surprised me. But yet it didn't.
Exactly.
Right?
That's the thing.
But you're right. Look at these women that said, fuck you.
The women stood up. And so I think it's a really important time to remind all of our listeners and all of your fans, which we know that you have a huge gay following and a lot of younger people, and we do too. It's important to let these people know we're not going to go the ways of Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. We're not going to sell out like that. We have conviction.
We are not.
And we're going to stand with you, and we're not going to pre-surrender to this fascist fucking regime. And we are going to stand strong. And I think it's important that all of these people, all of these gay kids that live in these horrible red MAGA hellscapes need to know that the Lisa Rinnas and the
That's
Jens
right.
and the Pumps of the world, we're not going to shut the fuck up. It's not happening.
It's not happening, and we will never go kiss that fucking ring, ever.
Ever. There's not a bank account big enough that would get me to that Roach Motel Mar-a-Lago to kiss his teeny tiny miniature little hand.
I'm sorry, but listen, I'm so disgusted just in the last day of seeing who has turned.
Yeah.
Just if you open up your Instagram, it's fucking disgusting. I will always be there for my gays and for my trans family. I mean, that somebody has to stand up for these people.
That's right.
Somebody.
And women.
Women are have to do it.
And women.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. If like, why aren't we revolting in the streets? Because people are fucking scared. Because he's going to come after you. He's going to tie you up in the courts. Like, who knows what? But people are scared, and we have to let them know that that's how we've always had and kept our freedom. You have to fight. We have to fight now.
And we do still have the First Amendment. And as a group, we still have agency over exercising that.
That's right.
And
That's right.
the most dangerous thing at the formation of dictatorships or fascist regimes is the pre-surrender. And you see
That's
that
right.
happen.
Oh.
Could you imagine that you ascended all the way to be a billionaire, only to be beholden to a man that can't even blend his goddamn makeup? Can you imagine how humiliating that would be, Lisa?
It is so fucking embarrassing. Those guys are like fucking little nerdy wimps who were always, no woman would ever give them the time of day. And all of a sudden, this fucking orange Cheeto fucking whatever, like we could go on and on. They go and sit and kiss the ring. How fucking embarrassing is that?
Right.
How humiliating is that?
Emasculating. And they talk about being alpha males ad nauseum. And I'm like, there's nothing more emasculating than what you did.
Saying you're an alpha male and saying that you're tough and cool means you're probably not, and you're probably gay. You know what I mean? Like
Totally.
You're probably fucking gay, and you're just homophobic.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to get in so much trouble. Jeffrey, my publicist, is probably like, oh my God, fucking Jesus. I said, if you're going to put me on podcasts, like get ready, because, I stopped doing podcasts when I was on the show on Housewives because I got myself into so much trouble. It just wasn't worth it. So I haven't done podcasts since 2017.
Lisa, here's the thing. Number one, in Trump's America, if that motherfucker can commit felonies and grab him by the pussy and all that shit, but we're going to be scared sitting on here standing up for marginalized people and standing up for our country, and that's wrong, I don't want to be right.
I don't either.
That.
I don't either. I'm with you. I will never, ever kiss that ring.
No.
I know that ring. I've worked with those people. I've been in the same room with all of them. They're all fake and they're all atheists. Yeah, I said it.
Lisa, I cannot tell you how much I love you. I love the authenticity.
I do too.
I love that you came on here, and we want all of the people that are scared in this country right now to know that you're not alone, and we're going to get through this, and we're not going to shut the fuck up, and we're not going to kiss the ring, because Lisa Rinna's got our backs.
That's right.
That's right. That's fucking right.
Lisa, thank you so much for coming on.
It's a pleasure. It was really fun. Thank you.
Thanks,
and
Lisa.
hopefully,
Bye.
I'll see you again.
Yeah.
I loved it. I
Bye.
would love it. Bye, Lisa.
Bye.
Love her.
Here's the thing. Sometimes you meet people and you think, I really like this person. I think they're cool. I like they're outspoken, all the things, and they underdeliver. Not Lisa Rinna. I feel like she's an over deliverer.
She over delivered. I think that we all have what I was talking about, that caricature idea of what a Real Housewives of whatever given city it is. And you think hysterical, materialistic, no depth, not a whole lot of intellect. And that's just what the American psyche thinks about these people. And then you get her on, and we've had some of the other housewives on. She's smart. She has conviction. She has a spine. She stands up for something. She, clearly has a fantastic marriage, is a good mother, and gives a shit. She fucking gives a shit. And she has the balls to get on this podcast and say, fuck them, fuck the patriarchy. I think it's all bullshit. Fuck them all. And I love her for that.
I love her. She's wonderful.
All right, listen up, listener. We have new merch out. Link below to find our merch. And Pumps, tell them.
We will see you next Tuesday and Thursday.
I'll tell you what I've had it with. Let's hear it. I've had it with that.
Listen up, patriots, gaytriots, and natriots. We have a new podcast that has dropped. It's called iHip News. It's Monday through Friday, every day, 15 to 20-minute hot takes on the political landscape of the United States of America, always served with a side of petty grievances.
We are on all the available platforms, Apple, Spotify, Google, whatever you get your podcasts, and YouTube.
Please go rate, subscribe, and review so that we will chart upwards with America's greatest legal mind. Pumps, what does an eagle say?
Caw-caw!
A little bit more enthusiasm.
Caw-caw!
That's it. That's
Caw-caw!
That's the patriotism that this country needs right there.